Hi guys, hello once again. This is Teacher Rana, and this will be another day for me guys to teach you another three, useful patterns for today. So let's have our listening first. Are you ready? Okay, the first pattern is, do you mind if I? Do you mind if I? Let's have the first sentence. First is, do you mind if I sit down? Do you mind if I sit down? Number two, do you mind if I take a break? Do you mind if I take a break? Number three, do you mind if I use your phone? Do you mind if I use your phone? Number four, do you mind if I leave early? Do you mind if I leave early? Number five, do you mind if I watch the game? Do you mind if I watch the game? Let's have a review now. Number one, do you mind if I sit down? 2. Do you mind if I take a break? 3. Do you mind if I use your phone? 4. Do you mind if I leave early? 5. Do you mind if I watch the game? Ready for second pattern? Listen carefully. Second pattern for today is, do you mean? Do you mean? Step 1, number 1. Do you mean you can't help me? Do you mean you can't help me? Number 2. Do you mean it's over? Do you mean it's over? Number 3. Do you mean you want more? Do you mean you want more? Number 4. Do you mean you don't like it? Do you mean you don't like it? Number 5. Do you mean you can't handle it? Do you mean you can't handle it? Let's have another one. Let's have a review. Number 1. Do you mean you can't help me? 2. Do you mean it's over? 3. Do you mean you want more? 4. Do you mean you don't like it? And number 5. Do you mean you can't handle it? Next one, let's have, it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean. Let's have number 1. It doesn't mean that we can't be friends. It doesn't mean that we can't be friends. Number 2. It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't care. Number 3. It doesn't mean we can't go to the party. It doesn't mean we can't go to the party. And number 4. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean it's over. Let's have number 5. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean I don't like you. Let's have the third or the repetition for that or review. Okay, number 1. It doesn't mean that we can't be friends. 2. It doesn't mean I don't care. 3. It doesn't mean we can go to the party. 4. It doesn't mean it's over. And number 5. It doesn't mean I don't like you. Now guys, are you ready to check your sentences? Please don't forget to check every single sentence because it practices your spelling as well. So let's have the first one. Okay. First sentence for our first pattern is, do you mind if I? Do you mind if I sit down? Second one. Do you mind if I Do you mind if I take a break? Third. Do you mind if I Do you mind if I use your phone? Next is, do you mind if I Do you mind if I leave early? Next, do you mind if I Do you mind if I watch the game? So there you go. When we say do you mind if, guys, how do we usually use this pattern? Well, when you're asking someone of a request or a favor, if it is okay with that person. So similar if you're asking a permission toward the person that you were talking about with. Now, we usually use do you mind if I. Actually, this is a polite way asking a request towards another person. And just don't forget to follow up with your verb. Okay, let's check it out for the next one. Next is, do you mean? First sentence is, do you mean? Do you mean you can't help me? Next one. Do you mean? Do you mean it's over? Third, do you mean? Do you mean you want more? Next, do you mean? Do you mean you don't like it? Next, do you mean? You can't handle it. Now, when we say do you mean, guys, you are asking someone for a clarification or what we call confirmation. So probably the other person already told you something, but you need a confirmation from that thing. Now, please don't forget to follow up with your subject, verb, and your object. So that will be our second pattern for the day. Let's move on now for the third pattern, and that is, it doesn't mean. What does it mean? Let's try to have it. But of course, you have to check first your sentences, okay? It doesn't mean that. Okay, it doesn't mean that we can't be friends. Second, does it mean I don't care? Third, does it mean okay, it doesn't mean we can go to the party. Next, it doesn't mean it's over. And the last sentence is, it doesn't mean okay, so now it doesn't mean I don't like you. Now when we say it doesn't mean, guys, in this situation, in this case, you are trying to give a statement which doesn't focus on the real meaning. So there you go. Probably you told someone and the person misunderstands what you want to say. So it means you are trying to confirm that that's not the meaning. Okay? So please don't forget to follow up with your subject, verb, and your object. Now let's have a review again with our patterns for today. The first one is, do you mind if I, meaning asking someone of a request or a favor if it is okay with the person that you're talking with. And please kindly don't forget to follow up with your verb. Second pattern is, do you mean means asking someone one for confirmation, or what we call clarification. And don't forget to follow up with your subject, verb, and your object. And the last one is, it doesn't mean giving a statement which doesn't focus on the real or literal meaning of it. And don't forget to follow up with your subject, verb, and your object. And there you go, guys, another 3 meaningful and useful patterns for you. I hope, guys, you're using it every day, and I hope to see you once again. Have a great day. See you.